Look, the referees in a lot of these games want to be the star of the show. The first half, we watched two fantastic teams go hammer and tong, end to end. Brighton give as good as they got. Arsenal go 1-0 up. But in the second half, I'm sorry. Look, biased aside, and it pains me to say Brighton and Arsenal were both very good in the first half. But that, in my opinion, is a robbery. Arsenal were robbed. We're going to break it down. We're going to jump straight into it. Make sure you get down, drop a like on the video. If we can hit 500 likes, that would be absolutely glorious. And we are steamrolling our way towards 25,000 subscribers. We are 250 away from 21.8k. We're going to start with the lineups. I thought Mikel Arteta got his lineup absolutely bang on. You don't, if it's not broken, don't fix it. And he picked the strongest lineup. We saw Trossard come in to the 11. Of course, Martinelli started against Aston Villa. And I thought he got the 11 bang on. I thought Timber, up until he went off, was very, very good. The back four, at times, Ben White was really getting challenged on his side. I've got Saliba and Gabriel. I thought they both had relatively good games. David Raya keeping Arsenal in the game. Huge save in the second half. The midfield, I'm going to be honest, it's the second game where in the first half, Villa really took the game. In the second half, took the game to Arsenal. And Arsenal managed it out really well. We saw Rodgers really powering through that midfield. And Odegaard, Partey and Rice, once again, another hard-felt battle. A front line of Trossard, Saka and Kai Havertz. And Kai Havertz now has got, what's that? Is that 3 goals already this season? Or maybe 2. I think he's got 2. He scored against Wolves. He scored today and he scored, 2 goals and 2 assists he's got. Really starting to cement himself as a bagsman in that Arsenal side. The first half, I thought it was a very, very even game. It was a very enjoyable watch from a neutral fan. It really looked an end-to-end game in the first half. We saw Fabian Hertzler really put out a strong team. Physical battles between Dunk and Havertz. And I thought Mitoma was giving Ben White a good battle. I thought Timber was doing really well out on his side. And it was a good first 35 minutes of football. And then the goal comes from a moment of quality. A long ball comes from the Brighton line. Saka absolutely puts Ben White, weights him, outmuscles him, plays a lovely ball through. The weight of pass through to Kai Havertz is absolutely extraordinary. And then the finish, a marvellous lob from Kai Havertz as he, lifts it over the goalkeeper and makes it 1-0. And at that point, looking from a rival fan, you could see Arsenal were under the cosh. You could see that they had a battle. It was, it was a real end-to-end match in the first half. And I thought, there was a couple of yellow cards in the first half. Thomas Partey got booked. Declan Rice got booked. I don't think there's any complaints about Declan Rice's first yellow card. I think that's a yellow card. And I don't think there's any complaints about Thomas Partey's yellow card either. I thought they both were yellow cards. If I'm going to be critical, you probably could have brought Jorginho on at halftime for one of those two, and then you're not necessarily worrying about Thomas Partey or Declan Rice not getting sent off in the second half. The game kicks off in the second half, high intensity, and then, of course, Arsenal going hammer and tong with Brighton. And the ball's down in Brighton's side by their touchline, just a bit up from their touchline, and Declan Rice is on a yellow card, and the ball goes out for a Brighton free kick. The game went a little bit silly. Veltman is fouled, and in the confusion, Declan Rice has got sent off for a second yellow. And it looked like Declan Rice kicked the ball away from Veltman as he tried to take a quick free kick. But when you watch the game back, Veltman can't pass the ball to anyone. So I think he's anticipating that Declan Rice is going to try and stop it. but then he just boots Declan Rice in the back of the leg. And I'm going to be brutally honest. That, for me, is not a sending off for Declan Rice. What the referee should have done is gone over, pulled the players apart, and just played the game on. That completely changes the game, turns it on his head. He got a second yellow card for moving the ball away. Veltman is lucky, though, in my opinion. I reckon there'll be a lot of conversation, a lot of heated debates about that point in the game. But for me personally, it's not a yellow card. And then Arsenal are then playing around 40 minutes, 45 minutes when you look at added time with 10 men. And they dug in really deep. And I think any Arsenal fan would have taken a point once you are down to 10 men. Arsenal conceded the goal from João Pedro, back-to-back man of the matches for him. Ali McCoy awarded him the man of the match. João Pedro equalises. Dunk found a redemption cutting pass. It was a redemption from him getting outweighted by Bukayo Saka for the first goal. Raya makes an excellent stop, kind of parries it back into a dangerous area. And there is Pedro to slide it in from the rebound and make it 1-1. And at that point, I thought, we're really going to learn more about Arteta and learn more about this Arsenal team, because they are going to be really under the cosh, really under the pressure for the remaining 36, 37 minutes. He made some good substitutions. Arteta, fair play, brought in Calafiori, who I thought played really well. He brought on Gabriel Martinelli to try and carry the ball further up the pitch and really try and take that pressure off of that Arsenal back line. There was a few number of substitutions. Estepinian come in for Brighton. Urian Timber got booked. It got a little bit silly towards the end. There was quite a number of yellow cards. The Brighton manager himself was booked. They brought on Enciso. David Raya got booked for time waste. And David Raya made an unbelievable save. You know, I think it was Arahi, the Brighton attacker. Shot gets put onto Raya. Raya parries it. And then as he's getting up, he's got the whole goal to aim at. But once again, David Raya there to the rescue and saves Arsenal. And I tell you what, he is a world-class goalkeeper now. Genuinely is a world-class goalkeeper. Big save after big save after big save in so many games for Arsenal. And look, a lot of them are going to feel hard done by today. I wouldn't look at it as 2 points dropped. For me, I would look at it as a point gain. That could be a valuable point come the end of the season, because let's be brutally honest here. A lot of fans thought Brighton were going to go on and win that. And they'll feel robbed. They'll feel hard done by. I did go 3-0 my score prediction. And I believe if Arsenal did have 10 men on the pitch, that would have been an Arsenal win. They were really taking the game to Brighton. They were playing some nice stuff. Kai Havertz on the score sheet. The only bad thing if you're an Arsenal fan is now that Declan Rice will miss the North London derby, and I don't want to smile, because obviously Tottenham are playing them next. So for me personally, that is absolutely fantastic. But if you're an Arsenal fan, that is a massive, massive kick in the teeth. But Arsenal showed their mentality. They held on. They got a point out of the game. And like I said, I think they'll look back on this in a couple of weeks with that more as a point gained. You know, that's the way I'll look at it. It is an absolute kick in the backside, but it's better than not getting a point, bearing in mind you played with 10 men for 40 minutes. But look, it just goes to show how bad the refereeing is in the Premier League at times, because I'm going to read up on the laws. I don't know if that's actually a law, but on the balance of what we saw today, I don't think it was a red card. Let us know your thoughts down below. We will be doing a match reaction for West Ham versus Manchester City. Make sure you drop a like. Make sure you have subscribed and I will see you all in the next one. Thank you for watching. I am out.